right, we got the huge Week 18, season-defining, regime-defining moment for the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to do my last bit of coverage for the loss against the Ravens. I got the whole first half of film, offense and defense to show the major reason why we lost. There's a lot of reasons. I'm a historian. I love history. Went to college a little bit for history. I love World War II. Been studying it for like 30 years, 35 years. People always argue, well, if Germany had won this battle and won that battle, and they could have won. It didn't matter. Even if they had survived Stalingrad and didn't lose 350,000 soldiers getting surrounded, they would have lost. They did not have enough fuel. They lost their Air Force, the majority in the Battle of Britain. These two overriding themes crippled the German army. And all the little minutiae in between, even huge things like losing 350,000 guys in Stalingrad, were side notes to the major theme. They did not have enough fuel, and they wasted planes in the Battle of Britain and got nothing for it. And that was a major problem later on. They had these wonderful tanks, the Tiger tanks, and they would get destroyed by planes because they couldn't have an air force to support them. But they still didn't have the fuel. That's why they couldn't run through Russia. They had to start and stop, wait for fuel, start and stop, and wait for fuel. So with the Dolphins, McDaniel probably shouldn't have kept Chubb in that long. He should have let the 2-minute warning happen. There was plays he should have called. He could have done better, clearly. Tua had those 2 picks, and there were some other plays he missed. He could have had a better game, clearly. I'm sure Fangio could have called a better game in all this. But the reality is, we were not physical enough on our offensive line. We could not break the Ravens' nickel, their light box. Anywhere you look, that's what the key was to the game was. Break the light box, get them out of their light box, and then you can pass on them, especially with them missing 3 starters, 2 to start the game, 1 in the middle of the game. Actually, a few plays in. We couldn't even pass on them because they only blitzed 3 times. They were nickel all day. They played coverage all day, and they were able to stop our edge runs. We could not run inside. But conversely, they were able to run on us, run us out of the nickel, bring us in our base, and even run us on our base. And it set the table for everything else. So I'm going to go through the film and show you, why this play didn't work, why that play didn't work. But the thing you'll mostly note is, we were predictable. We run outside. We throw outside. We throw in a pocket to Hill and Waddle. Waddle wasn't there, so we added the Smythe thing in. And then we go deep. It's very easy for teams to take away that limited menu, where conversely, the Ravens did everything. Inside, outside, screens, middle, wide, deep. They had it all. And so it was the inability to be physical, to run on us. We were bringing 2 tight ends and a tight end and a fullback, and we still couldn't run on their small box of 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. And so when you see this theme through the film, you'll see, Hill dropped the football, but it didn't change our inability to run on them inside. So I'm going to go through that film. Now, I told you a couple weeks ago, I just want to say something quick. My friend Nino was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Never even knew what the heck that thing was. It's not a good thing. And originally it was a very short period of time. They gave him a year or so. But now he's in chemo, and they're hoping 2, maybe 4, 6. And I spoke a lot about it, but I haven't mentioned it since because it's hard for me not to cry and break my tough guy thing when I mention his name. But he got out of chemo and he said, can you mention me in the thing? He didn't see my other podcasts. So, Nino, I love you, man. I love you. All right, see, I had a cut there. I got teary-eyed. I can't get too much into it. Nino, I love you, man. I love you to death. I'm praying for you. Please, everyone, pray for my friend Nino. Hard time, great family, greatest guy. I love you, brother. With my heart and soul. Anyway, before I start tearing up again, I gotta give you guys a shout out. It's the likes, the subscribes, the comments, and the views that make this show go. So I appreciate all that you guys do. I want to give you a shout out and a shout out to Ace Per Head. And a shout out to the best guy in the world, Nino. Because without the three of you, well, two of you, watch me sometimes, but without the two of you, but the three of you with my real life, Nino, because you're the best guy I know, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the film, take a look at the film, and see what we see. All right, let's get into it. Miami opens up with the ball. They open with the screen. You can see the light box of the Ravens. Easy pitch and catch, space for Achane to pop. Great little play. But you're going to see, as the game goes on, the Ravens kind of figure it out a little bit. So, again, you'll see the light box. You see a 21 personnel, tight end and fullback, and they just can't get the run off. They can't break that light box. You see right here, Cotton's getting beat. Even Jones is getting beat and just surrounded. Achane surrounded. Ingold's on the floor. Can't really make that block with the cut, and it goes nowhere. So not able to break that light box nickel. Come back. Tua and Hill and this Dolphins team is all about throwing in the pocket. Right there. Beautiful pass. A little behind there just so he can catch it. Had to be in there. It was beautiful. Perfect pass. Unbelievable. Look what 4 guys around him. Over here, the play action, finesse rollout, a little smoke and mirror play. Nice call. Very nice call. Still in the light box. Then you get the run in here. Another light box. You can see that right there. Nice run outside, but then you come back on the inside run, and it goes nowhere. You can see Eichenberg getting beat on that one. So you come back to the pass, and the throw is just a little off, but that's really good coverage. It probably wouldn't have been caught either way, but you still can't break the nickel with what you got going on here. There's a little bit of pressure. Quick throw to get away from that pressure. And you come back, look at his perfect pass, but it's the same thing as that Hill pass earlier. Thrown in the pocket, the double clutch, and then just throws it like on a dime, on a rope. Beautiful, beautiful pass, but it's more of the same, edges and outside. So we come back, we're in our nickel, and you can see the top of the screen, Howard getting toasted. This is just burnt. He was man coverage, bit on the inside post, and just got beat deep, but the ball was dropped. You can see bringing the 4 here. The nickel again, a play action, no pressure, a little blitz towards the end, but really that was all about Howard. Then the inside run, trying to break that nickel. Not a bad run, good little run there. All right, you're going to see some player-driven failure on this one. Watch Duke, he bites inside. He's looking for the flat, but this is an out and up. Perfect play design. Instead of Duke going outside over the top, he goes inside and he gets beat very, very bad. Got to go outside. Let him get the catch in the flat, but you can't get beat on that out and up. Come back. Get a little screen pass here. 3rd and 18, I think it was. And then look at that. Missed tackle by Ramsey. And that was a huge, huge play. Perfect call. Fangio had dialed it up right, but guys lose leverage all the way through it. Everyone's overcommitted. Beautiful run here. And then Ramsey has his chance, and he just misses it. And that was a big first down. Come back. I think that was 3rd and 18. Little play action here. And you can see only 2 guys in routes, kind of like what we do, max protect, and then just top of the screen, Elliott just can't stay on top, rotates the wrong way, leaves Flowers open. Big, big play. But that is just Elliott at the top of the stem, overcommitting in one direction. Not easy. Then you come back on the inside run, pick up a nice little run there. And you can see over here, there's confusion between Holland and Ramsey. I think Holland's got to pick that inside guy up and then just an easy pitch and catch. And then Ramsey just kind of gets juked. He freezes, and then the receiver makes a nice little move here and picks up a couple extra. Big play, but that was player-driven failure, miscommunication on assignments. Come back. Again, we're in a nickel. They got 5 guys in protection. We're rushing 4. And you see he's got time. And again, Duke goes under instead of over on the out and up. They took advantage of that, and Duke did not learn. That is player-driven failure. So 7-7, we come back. We run a little play action, what you've seen before, but notice the linebacker getting in that space. It's a lot harder than it was before. They're keying in on that play. Beautiful throw, but it's starting to get a little predictable. Almost a pick, but that's going to turn to one later. You'll see. Then you get the pitch outside, and a great seal block by us. But again, they're in that light box nickel, and then he just breaks it off with his speed. Huge run. The Ravens don't get nervous. They stay in that nickel here. You can see beautiful seal block by the receiver. I think that maybe that's Claypool. And now we're in the red zone. You pitch outside, and they're still in the nickel, and they shut it down. Look at this. This is a nickel. They kind of figured out they beat everybody to the spot. That's speed of the defense against the speed of the offense, and they just get past all the blocks, and it really is nowhere for Achane to go, and that is a light box. So then they come back with the screen, and it was a nice little play, puts us in position, and this is the drop coming up. We're ready to tie it up over here, or actually to go ahead by 7, and then beautiful throw, but just dropped by Tyreek Hill. And so it ends up being 10-7. All right, you can see we come out on our base now. They've kind of broken our nickel a little bit. And you get the one-on-one with Apple and a beautiful throw. You get the protection. But look at that, 3 D linemen instead of 2. We're out of that nickel look. We're in our big look, and they take advantage. We can't almost get the pressure there. But Jackson stays in the pocket beautifully and delivers that one-on-one ball. Then you get the inside run here. We kind of ham it up a little bit. We get a penalty. And now the Ravens go into a long situation. I think it's first and like 15 or 16. Here's a nice little outie over here to try to make something out of it, but we kind of hem everything in. Defense is playing smart. Get a little bit of pressure here. Jackson can't find anybody open, and you get the sack. Now, defense is doing their job. You can see Sealer and then Wilkins. Everybody's kind of getting there. Van Ginkel. And you come back on 3rd and ultra long, and Jackson unbelievably breaks it off with his speed. Almost gets there, but we stop him. So it's back to us. We're in a lead 10-7. Come back. More passing, miscommunication by Hill. We're still not trying to break that nickel. We're throwing against their strength, their pass defense. Then we try to go inside with a draw, and we only get about 3 or 4. The blocking's just not really there. You can see everybody kind of gets stuffed up. You know, that's a decent run, but not when you're running against the nickel. You want a little bit more than that. But it's decent. It was a good one. But then we come back, and we add a little wrinkle. The tight ends, skinny post inside. This is a great call by McDaniel, but this is like he starts going to the well a little bit too much later in the game. Beautiful pass. A little bit of pressure starting to get there. Maybe, maybe not. But this is a nice little wrinkle by McDaniel. Come back, play action, and then you get everyone kind of gets beat. You get beat on the outside, beat on the inside. Jackson and I believe Jones, and you get a sack. You see the protection here. Actually, I think it's Cotton. No, yeah, it's they pull Jones, who's slow-footed. It's really a lot to ask for him. And then Jackson's getting beat, and then there's nowhere for Tua to go. He gets taken down. 2nd long, and just get the screen to get a little yardage, but it really goes nowhere. Then you come back here, and you can see everybody is kind of covered, except I think Tua, he's not patient enough here. You see Berrios breaking over right in the middle. If he had seen that read and thrown it right there for Berrios in that pocket, but he throws off to Wilson to the right. They got a little jittery. That was a bad read. And so they stop us. We stop them. They stop us. And they come out, and we're in our base, and watch them run at our base. Not only are they able to run a little bit on our nickel, but now they're starting to run on our base. And that is linebacker-driven issues for the most part. Some D tackles, but some linebackers, I see more of that. Then they come back. We are back in our base, and they run again. And Seal has a chance, but a great play by the running back to pick up a first. So now they're getting physical, running on our base, picking up a first with the run game. You can see Ingram just getting blown off the ball there. That doesn't cause anything, but, you know, We struggle in the run stop with him in there, and then Seal just can't finish it off, first down. Now we go back to our nickel. They go back to the pass. There's a lot of time here, but you can see it looks like Duke is biting to the flat, and so is Holland. It leaves the receiver open in the middle, and he makes a nice little move and now picks up a first. So there's a little miscommunication inside. Then you get the run inside, and that's again where we go back to our base. We're back in the base. Big look, and they're able to run on our base. So they're really starting to take. And that's a nice little run in there. The linebackers get gummed up, long over pursues, doesn't wait long enough in the hole. We're back in our base, and they're back to running. And you see right here, missed tackle inside, and the running back picks up a beautiful gain to the edge. And I guess if you're going to run against the base, it's a little bit easy there. You can see Van Ginkel doubled. And then Duke, he's not patient enough. He overcommits and gets behind. He needed to be more patient and wait till that running back shows the hole, but he didn't. And that was a big running attack. Then you go to the play action. He's got all the time in the world, but no one open, so he runs. Picks up a couple of yards here as a penalty thrown, but it gets taken back. You can see just Ingram gets sealed off. We're in our base, which means we got a little bit slower footed out there, but we have good coverage, but then he picks up a couple there. We're still in our base. They haven't seen one base from them yet, and then they run inside, and you can see just Davis gets sealed. You can see Duke doubled. And he just picks up a nice little run inside against our base. So it's getting nerve-wracking now. I see a little screen here, but great play on the edge. I can't remember who gets that. That was nice to stop that screen. Could have been a big play. Now they're in second and long. There's a little bit of issues as far as protection for the Ravens, but what a throw. I mean, that is an insane throw and catch. One of the best throw and catches I've seen a year. Kohu is just, you can't ask him to get that. Then they come in and just run the ball in for the touchdown. So they've imposed their will physically. We come back and we're trying to be physical. We're in our big look. They're still in a nickel. And we decide to run the ball out of the eye. But Tehran gets beat inside, which doesn't kill the play. You got Ingle to pick it up there. But then you can see Eichenberg is beat. Jackson can't beat. There's too many bodies. That nickel is destroying our blocking, whether it's the tight ends or the offensive line. So we have to go back to pass. Little screen goes out of his bad throw by Tua. But it didn't look like it was going anywhere anyway. We come back. We've kind of ditched the physical stuff. We're back into throwing. They still in the nickel. A little bit of pressure there. And then you get a nice throw inside. Again, that wrinkle of the tight end, Tua and McDaniel dialed up, but it's getting a little bit overused. And you see, they're waiting, and they put a licking on Smythe. So they're dialing into our 3 or 4 different kind of plays. The edge stuff, the pocket with Hill, and the pocket with Smythe. And you get an inside run here, which was a nice little inside run. And I thought that was very physical. I thought we should have kind of gone back to that. But we get back into the pass. We have a little screen here that nobody bites on the screen. They're still in a nickel, so this kind of suits them. Just really know where to go. The 6 smells it out, sniffs it out. Very good. So now you're in third down. An all pass play, and you get the edge blitz that puts the pressure on. No way for Tua to complete. I know Wilson does a great job, but they're figuring us out, man. They brought that sneaky edge blitz. Now it's 4th down. And McDaniel decides to go for it, which I kind of get. It's a little nervous, but look at this throw by Tua and catch by Hill. Unbelievable. Beautiful, gutsy call. Great throw. No pressure. Delivered right in there. Then we come back and we go to run the football. And we come back. You see, we got a pretty big look there. 2 tight ends, and they get beat. There's guys everywhere, and just HN just gets drilled to the ground. So again, that light box is beating our big looks. And that to me is really saying a lot. So then we go over here with the play action. We try to do the finesse stuff. They totally sniff it out. Nowhere to go. Smoke and mirrors doesn't play off. They level up their zone coverage. Awesome. 1 in front of Tua, 1 in the middle, and 1 behind. Then you get over here. This is a 3rd down play. You really want him to get here so you can maybe go for the 4th. Tua doesn't deliver a good ball here. I think he was trying to put it high in a way, but it's a little too high. There's a little bit of pressure there, but, you got to deliver that ball a little bit better. So at least you have the options for a 4th down look. So they come back, and They get a little pass play here, and then you can see Duke and Eli, they both bite inside right there. And then Eli turns around, totally expecting someone to take the guy behind him. Either he loses him or whatever. However you want to slice it, that's Eli's job. He's over the top, and then Duke is in the middle. 2 missed tackles and touchdown. And now the Ravens are starting to get away with it. So we come back, we do a little pitch toss, pick up a nice run here, but you'll see it's not getting them out of that nickel. They're going to dial in more on that run game. Again, the pitch toss, nice, some good blocking. HN's fast, but they hold their water, stay in their light box. We come out in big look, play action. Again, the tight end, 3rd time so far. Good call up, but it's starting to get a little bit used. And then this is where you get the pick. Now, I want you to notice something. Look what they did. They called it perfectly. This is a rush job, and you're going to see they knew exactly what was coming. And watch, the D lineman on the edge, he drops. That allows Roquan Smith to get in there to make that play. And so they knew we were passing. They knew the situation. And it really came back now. Tua should have made that throw, but they only rushed 3 guys. See, 50, Van Noy. He drops, and that allows Smith total freedom to go and bite on that inside route. He knows what's going on, and then the pick. And then the game really starts turning on its head. They come back with the screen. We sniff it out pretty good. It goes nowhere. They're kind of spreading it out a little bit. We're still in on nickel, but we're starting to get a little nervous. We bring the 4, get a little pressure there, and he makes the move. Chubb can't deliver. He gets on a move, but picks up a couple. Nothing major. You can see the pressure right here. Nice little twist inside by Chubb, but he can't deliver, and he picks up a couple extra. Now you're in 3rd and long, and you see Eli Apple has a nice coverage here, nowhere to go. Beautiful play, and Dolphins are in a situation of 4th and 7. So what happens? We bring the blitz. We're in our dime right now, and it's one-on-one man coverage, and just Holland gets beat with his outstretched arms, and he goes in for the touchdown. Man-on-man coverage, one of your best cover defenders. You got to expect Holland to make that on this play. But you'll see he gets beat. He's late to get there and doesn't have the speed. Likely just outruns him. Perfect pass, thrown outside. And then now Dolphins are in desperate mode. Screen outside wide. They only got over a minute left. All edge stuff here, just trying to get something out there. But this is more of the same. Ravens are kind of strongly dialed in on what the Dolphins want to do or what they can do. Again, a nice little play here, keeping the clock going, but you're getting yards. You're trying to get into position for a field goal, hopefully a touchdown. A little bit of pressure there. Nice coverage, great breakup. Almost a beautiful play by the Miami Dolphins, but a better play by the coverage. Jackson gives up some pressure. Tua's got to get on a move. Almost there, but 6 breaks that up. I think that's Smith, breaks it up. Now it's 24 seconds. Hill gets drilled. Clock's running. You're trying to get in position, and they kind of get a little bit of pressure there and get the sack. And you'll see the pressure here inside. They're in a nickel. They've been playing pass defense all day, and they're prepared. You see inside, Cotton's beat, one-on-one, and now it's desperation mode. And you get a nice play, but you get the penalty takes away that play, and then you go into the half, and you're down 28-13. If we're not physical enough to break these nickels, you go through all of the losses that we've had. Even the Titans, they sat in nickel all day, and we could not break it with our inside runs. You can get these big runs to the edge, but as you saw in the film, when you're in your nickel, you had the agility to beat guys to the spots, and you can kind of limit that edge stuff. It's the inside stuff that forces you to bring the bigger bodies, and when the bigger bodies come in, then you got the one-on-one matchup. You saw that with the Ravens. If the Dolphins cannot run inside on a team's nickel, they've got their hands tied behind their backs. Football is not a game, at least when it's 2 good teams, that you take. Sometimes you get to a point when you could start taking, but initially you've got to get the opponent in a situation that's not conducive for them, and then you begin to take. Sometimes you could trick them here and there, but you can't do it every play. You cannot live by outside runs, throwing in a pocket inside, running screens, and then occasionally getting a deep ball. It does not work against a good team with a good defense that sits in nickel, that does not blitz, and has an offense that can put points on. That's the main problem. This week against the Bills, it's going to be key for us to run inside. It's going to be key for them to run on us inside. Whoever can run the other guy out of that light box. It doesn't have to be all day. It's only 2 or 3 plays, 4 plays where you catch them and you get that big play that matters. But whoever runs the other out of that light box more is probably going to win the game. Bills are extremely talented, but they're inconsistent. They've got injuries on their defense, lots of them, just like us. Allen's got the bad shoulder for a while, the bad neck. He throws some picks. We can make something happen. I wouldn't bet on it. I believe because that offensive line, my man Tommy said a couple weeks ago, someone else posted it. They've been 1,000 snaps together. That adds chemistry. That adds consistency and continuity on that offensive line. And the offensive line is a major part. As I said, it makes the NFL world go round. So this week 18 is massive, but it's going to come down to running inside and running a team out of the box. Obviously, turnovers and penalties and good calls and quarterback play, all that stuff is true. But if you run inside, run guys out of that light box, you set the framework for everything else. Conversely, Ravens were gutted, but they knew what we were going to do. They sat in coverage all day and they stymied us. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the film. Again, pray for my man Nino. I love the guy. And just pray that some kind of, he's getting through it and good miracles happen for him. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all you do. Curtis, and catch you next time. Be well. Go Phins. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.